hello everyone, this is Benny. Welcome to my first video on BNS Nutritionist. And I have a special guest today here with me today. One of my good friends and also nutritionist and also one of the expert in martial art field. And the reason I have him here today to talk about a little bit about martial art combined with the workout daily for anybody. I have him come here today first before he leaving for Thailand for started over there again. So I'm gonna you take a look at him today and we go over a bunch of stuff, and I hope you guys like this interview.
All right, my name is Mike Soto. I've been in the field of martial arts for many years now. Done a lot of research in Asia, and currently I teach and I research in Thailand, Taiwan, and China. And I come back to the States once or twice a year to teach my students here and review and bring back all the things that I'm learning over there. I've always been involved in the field of nutrition for a very long time and fitness, so I hope I can answer some questions and give you some good information.
Okay, very first one I'd like to know is, what did the people do so wrong out there and they want a quick fix? They want to lose the weight, but in the long run, and they always coming back. I always hear this story about people, you know, summertime coming, I want to drop 30 pounds, but what happened beyond the summertime?
Yeah, well, one of the main problems is that, you know, there's a lot of different ways to lose weight. There's more than one way. There's several different diets that people can follow. There's different workouts that people can follow. There's a variety. What happens is that, to me, the person should find something that they know is going to be sustainable, because a lot of people start out very gung-ho. They're ready to lose weight and they join a program that it may initially help them lose that weight, and they're happy for a while, but then they find that they cannot do that past a certain amount of time. They get tired of it. It's a type of eating that they're, you know, naturally eat the way they do before they did the diet, or the type of workout that maybe is too much for them. There's many factors, and I think it's important for people to find a workout or a diet that they feel will be sustainable for them. They feel that they can do it for the long run. There's a change they can do that they will be committed, a lifetime commitment, and that will be easy for them to follow, because there are many kinds of ways to do it. No matter what diet you're in, at the end of the day, if you want to lose weight, you know, you have to monitor your calories. A lot of people make the mistake of saying, hey, I've joined this kind of diet, or another mistake they make is by omitting a certain macronutrient, like I don't need any fat, or I don't need any, or this amount of protein, or I don't need any carbs, when really a balanced and nutritious, making good choices as far as selecting foods will work great as long as you monitor your calorie intake. Some people, for example, the ketogenic diet or the Atkins diet was very popular for a while, where people eat a high amount of fat and protein and they eliminate carbs, like carbs were the devil, right? But what happens is that for many people that's not sustainable. That's not the best diet for everybody, because we're all different, and it's not a very good diet for people that are involved in bodybuilding or weight training. Now, some people claim that they're fat adapted and they make it work for them, but in my experience, they're few and far between. It works for some people, but for most regular folks that are not deeply committed, it doesn't work. So at that point, there was a lot of people having problems with that, demonizing one macronutrient, and it was not sustainable. So whenever they stopped the diet, all the weight came back again. They have rebounds, you know. So that's just an example. I'm not picking on that particular diet. It's just an example. It can happen with any kind of diet out there. So picking a sensible diet that's balanced, including the foods that you like, as long as it's not junk food, right? And watching your calories, it's gonna go much longer and give you much better results than trying to force yourself into any particular diet.
That great advice. Now here are the thing that I'm wonder about the people when they're on a diet, and they always talk about quick fix and this and that. Now let's get in some little bit about boxing, and I think they can use this for calorie burning, for anything that have anything to do with, I think the boxing and then the kickboxing, whatever that is, brought in with the daily exercise. I think that's a wonderful thing to do. A lot of people say, well, I don't know how to do this and do that, but saddle boxing is one of the best for cardio. And what's your knowledge on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think that a great addition to any diet or workout program would be to include some form of boxing, kickboxing, or martial arts training, because this type of training not only can help you burn extra calories, is usually fun. It's you could do it alone or with a group of people, either way, and you're going to have a lot of other benefits that will translate to the real world, such as better balance, better conditioning and endurance. You're going to have some self-defense skills, depending if you emphasize that in your training. You have better reflexes. So your speed will improve, your coordination, and that's something that you can use in everything, in everyday life, in other things and other activities that you may do. So the benefits are huge in including some form of martial arts, especially boxing, kickboxing, because that makes you increase a lot of coordination and conditioning in the body. So I highly recommend that with a lot of my students and clients.
No, wonderful. The third question I have for you is that that throughout the year that I'm learning from the diet and nutrition and all that stuff, I start out with you, I was 209, and at today I'm sitting in front of you 4 years later, maintaining 168, and I feel better. And you and I gonna be 51 this year, and I think we look pretty good. Not bragging ourselves.
Not bad, not bad.
Not bad. But I think a lot of people missing the whole point when they're working out. They say, well, I'm here to go to the gym 6-7 days a week, but I'm not losing the weight. But I think the more important, the intake of the food they're eating. And
Right.
people missing that. I think that go to the gym is like 20%, but the diet almost like 80%.
Yeah.
I think that's my idea of it.
Yes.
And what do you think of that?
I agree. There's a saying that says you cannot outwork a bad diet. You can go to the gym and work your butt off and put a lot of time and effort, but if you're not supporting the body correctly with the proper nutrition and the proper amount of calories, depending on your goal, whether it's to gain muscle or to lose body fat, you're going to hit a wall and you're going to waste your time. You see a lot of people in the gyms, you may know some, that you've seen them in the gym for 2 years and they look the same. It's like, man, you've been here for 2 years, you look the same you looked 2 years ago. Well, something's wrong. And usually it has to do because people they're not self-accountable for tracking their calories and tracking and progressing in their workouts. People just go to the gym and they just work out. Okay, I hit the weights here, hit it there, and they go home. It's good because they are doing some form of activity. So I encourage that, and I'm happy about that. But what happens is that if they are not careful with carefully logging their calories, their macros, whatever diet they're following, if they don't log and their workouts, because working out is about progressive overload. Again, there's all different kinds of weight training, different kinds of strength training for bodybuilding, for conditioning. They'll have different parameters, but whatever you follow, you must log your programming. You have to have a weekly progress chart so that you can track your progress. If not, you don't know what you're doing. If one day you did a bench press and you did 10 reps with X amount of weight, well, the next time you work out, you want to somehow do better than last time. Maybe by adding one more rep, maybe by cutting down the time that you rest between sets. Something has to change every once in a while for you to have progression. Without progressive overload, you're not going to get far at changing the aesthetics of your body, your strength, or anything else. So I think that the mistake people make a lot is that they don't track their progress with their diet and with their training, with weights, whatever that may be, especially with nutrition. Nutrition is the number one problem. If you can have a crappy workout and not do so well with your weights, but if you're tracking your nutrition, that's going to go a long way. So nutrition is the most important component in that formula there for me.
And also that people don't take it into consideration when they're working out. They're missing out all the good veggie vegetable they're eating, and they get stuck on one item only. They say, "Oh, I don't need to eat this, that, this, and that." But I think the vegetable is the most important daily for your body. Yeah. What's your intake on that?
Yeah, I think it's a good practice. There's people that have different kinds of diets, like I said, and whatever works for you is fine. But across the board, as far as I know, and all the research has shown, which I happen to agree with, is that having a high intake of vegetables, a variety of vegetables, is very beneficial for you. Now, you know, there'll be other people that may argue that. There are some people that make great progress without vegetables and all that, because you know, they're basically just counting calories no matter where things come from. But I'm talking about it health-wise, again, sustainable, something when as you grow older, something that you're going to do the rest of your life. I think it's beneficial to include a variety of vegetables in your diet and to be a big part of it. And you don't have to be stuck with any particular type of vegetable. Right. Be adventurous, try different things, you know, you might like it. And I highly recommend for people to include a lot of vegetables in their diet. Absolutely, it makes a difference. My experience as a trainer, with all the people I've been able to train for the past 30 years or so, vegetables have made a big difference in their body composition. So I highly recommend it, in my experience.
That's wonderful. We talk about different kind of diet and all that stuff, and the nutrition and the food that we eat daily. You have to discover what you like to eat, and make sure you modify with nutrition and all that stuff. Make sure you take everything into consideration. Don't overeat it, and certain food and item and all that stuff. You know, you can have 1 day a week, you can take a break and eat junk food. Okay, just one meal is good enough. And you know, we all do that. We're not perfect, so we can go to there. I want to thank Mike for being here today, and we talk about this. However, Mike gonna be coming back again to another interview. But those of you interested more about martial art or Muay Thai, kickboxing, therefore, me and Mike are talking about, we might have a seminar coming up in 2017. And if you like it, the end of the video, we have address and information for you to contact us for more detail. Or you can let me know, and I can get you to Mike personally. And he currently teaching right now here in Oklahoma City. And I think, when are you leaving?
I will be leaving next week. I go back to Bangkok, and I'm going to resume my teaching over there and do some more research in Asia. And then hopefully I will be back within the year back to OKC.
Okay, that's wonderful. Go back to the diet. I remember when I started out with Mike, who mentored me. I was 209, and for the last 4 years, I keep myself up to 168 for the last 2 years, and I work hard at it and eat right, and my life feels great. Everything I do is better for my life and all that stuff. I feel great in the morning when I get up and all that. You know, go to work, it makes me feel good too. So if you're interested, and I'll be having the website here coming up soon and talk about food and stuff. And you can write me on there, or if you have any questions, you can email me and Mike, and I make sure that he responds to you, and I make sure that I will write back to you. But I'm gonna show you the picture, and I know that your guy not gonna believe me. This is me when I weigh 209, and Mike have mentored me. What I got me on today is 168. Okay, so there you go. So that way you believe me. Thanks for joining us and see you next time. Thank you.
All right, thank you.